Good afternoon and welcome back to Carlton Cornwall Bowls in Auckland for action from our Women's Pairs Final. It is Val Smith and Lisa Prado, the 2019 champions here at Carlton Cornwall, up against Dale Raynor and Selena Smith. Dale Raynor, a 2017 champion in this event. Selena Smith, the defending champion, having played with Caitlin Inch in Christchurch, this time 12 months ago. We are underway on our first of 18 ends in the Women's Pairs Final after Val Smith and Lisa Prado overcame Sue Curran and Paula Kempthorne of St Heliers just around 20 minutes ago. And earlier, in an absolute heart-stopper, Dale Raynor and Selena Smith beat Taylor Bruce and Claire Hendra 12-11 in a really tight semi-final. Brenton Van Nistelrooy here in commentary alongside Kevin Hickland. We're in a stark contrast to the weather earlier today. Bright sunshine, and it is hot out on the green, Kevin.
It certainly is, Brendan, and there's still moisture sort of coming out of that green, but it's certainly, yeah, it's very, very warm out there, and the players remarked as well how warm it was. And of course, in this game as well, Selena Smith sitting on 4 New Zealand titles, going for that elusive gold star. And the Val Smith-Lisa Prado combination, winners here, of course, in 2019, semi-finalists last year in Christchurch, and back here in the final in this champion of the Summerset National. So very good effort from these two players who got together and have joined up together. And Dale Raynor, what a magnificent bowl. Score all locked up, playing the last end, and Dale Raynor changed a hand and drew a front toucher and made it very difficult for Claire Hendra to dislodge, or could not dislodge, that shot bowl. So Val Smith, of course, the very seasoned international. Dale Raynor, of course, played for New Zealand, went to Delhi in 2010 Commonwealth Games, and with Ashley Jeffcoat won the pairs in 2017. So four very, very strong players in this final here this afternoon.
You see Ashley Jeffcoat actually in the orange, just left the screen. Former Pairs partner with Dale Raynor, who is playing right now her first bowl of this Women's Pairs Final. On the forehand side, it is Prado and Smith who are holding shot as the skips change over. And as Kevin Hickland mentioned, Dale Raynor with the winning bowl in their semi-final victory over Claire Hendra and Taylor Bruce. Nothing between those two. Very low scoring game. Just singles and the odd 2 on each end.
You'll notice Val Smith's got her knee all taped up. She had at the the Nelson Bowling Club, one of the guys sort of ran into her knee, tipped her over and strained it when she's been under the physio, etc. She's played magnificent bowls, did the current New Zealand player, was with 5 New Zealand titles herself, one of the legends. And great bowl here from Dale Raynor, drawing jack level.
Yeah, of course, the past world champion in the pairs, the good mate Joe Edwards, recently retired.
Of course, both Val and Joe now playing out of the Nelson Club.
Yeah, where they started their great careers.
And this bowl of Val Smith just going to sit ever so slightly on the wide side. Selena Smith indicating it's one. That Dale Raynor bowl is shot. And this was sort of I'm not going to say a made-up combination, but with Caitlin Lynch not being able to make the trip because of the border situation, they decided to get together, and here they are now in the final.
It's obviously clicked well, so Selena Smith through to back-to-back pairs finals with different skips. Caitlin Inch, of course, last year as they went on to win the title. Now Dale Raynor. Pretty handy skip to pick up as a replacement, isn't it? A past champion.
Very much under the line is that bowl of Val Smith's. And it's one to Raynor and Selena Smith.
I'm not quite sure what they had a quick look back at. Something there, but yeah, just confirming. 1, 2, Dale Raynor and Selena Smith. This is Smith with the Matt and the Jack. Selena Smith, that is, of course, Nee Goddard. Got married just after the Summerset Nationals last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Just a few, what must be days out, really, from her first wedding anniversary.
So when we consider what that weather was like mid-morning today, it certainly was looking very, very, very unlikely. But as we kept looking at it with hope at that weather map, and sure enough, it passed away, and out came the blue sky, and we've got the men's semi-finals as well.
Yeah, keep you up to date with them as well. Actually, a chance to just peer around the corner, and they're well underway. Mike Galloway of Royal Oak has made it through to the semi-finals. He had a win over Timothy Hook of Takoro 21-17, and he is leading Andrew Kelly, the defending champion, 9-3 in his semi-final. And the other semi-final between two youngsters, Carlton Cornwall's Rory Soden and Stokes Valley's Finbar McGuigan. And last check, Soden had a narrow lead, and confirming 13-7 now, in fact, his lead over Finbar McGuigan. Rory Soden, now of the Carlton Cornwall Club, where we are, of course, for these Summerset National Singles and Pairs. The final events to be decided now. This is the penultimate final. We will have the men's singles final for you to follow this. Given our backlog because of the rain earlier today, more than likely that men's singles final will start before we finish our coverage of this. So once this reaches its conclusion, we will start our coverage of the men's singles final. Of course, we have to move our cameras, etc. And then we will bring you what will most likely be the end of that men's singles final as well. We wait to see who are the finalists. Those semi-finals, though, both advanced.
So Lisa Prado, wide the head. Selena Smith open here on this, the second end of 18. Two pretty good bowls, one just over the centre line. The other bolt, Jack Height, the Lisa Prado bowls have just sort of gone by. Another good bowl here from Selena Smith right on the centre line. It's a very well played bowl by the Raynor lead. It's out of the Takapuna Club, North Harbour.
Yeah, previously here out of Carlton Cornwall, of course.
So here is Lisa Prado, out of the Carlton Cornwall Club on the back end. Val Smith's quite keen on this line as it's breaking its way down towards the head now. She's liking this bowl. Is it going to walk all the way to the jack? Certainly won't be three down. I wouldn't think after this it should have cut, I would say. If it's not the shot, would certainly be second shot for sure, Brenton.
Yeah, certainly. Much needed, even though it falls out. Still good effort from Lisa Prado, and given that Selena Smith had her partner, her pairing holding three, it was a good final bowl and much needed by Lisa Prado. Yeah, I must say the Carlton Cornwall Club must be pretty happy with how a lot of their members have gone, getting deep in this tournament. We'll be hoping that they can finally pick up a national title at these Summerset Nationals. They've been close, and players made quarterfinals, semi-finals. Now a finalist here with Lisa Prado. Still hope that Rory Soden can also make it through to the final in the men's singles.
So here is Dale Raynor on the backhand. This Lisa Prado just obscuring the view a bit on the way down, but you see that bowler Dale Raynor just pulls up short of the jack. And certainly looks on that monitor, Brendan, if it's the back bowl of Selena Smith, which is the shot.
Yeah, you'd favour the bowl and behind the head rather than that short of it.
here is now Val Smith, current blackjack, or has been a current blackjack for a long time now, on her forehand. Just question that line on the way down. Looked to be on the narrow side and was short of weight as well. Lisa Prado has got a very, very good coach as well. Leif Selby, her partner, former, of course, Australian player, world champion, won the world singles in 2012.
Is he here?
I think he's sitting out there watching, and lives over on Waiheke. And in that 2012, when Leif won those singles, he beat Shannon McElroy, in fact, in the semi-final. And he's actually going to be playing here at Carlton in the club championship shortly in the club pairs with James the greenkeeper. So here's now Val Smith trying to correct off her first bowl, which was short and under the line on her forehand. Green running around 15 seconds, and again at short and under the line. And Selena Smith indicating to Dale Raynor where Jack level is to draw to it. Come round the Val Smith bowl and draw down into that port at the back of the head. It's a great attempt actually by Dale Raynor, just runs by. So Val Smith with her last bowl. That bowl certainly got more weight. Is it going to come back all the way? Lisa Prado's looking at this bowl, has to get through a few to get to the counting position, has to get past the front bowl and won't do so.
Good effort, but is not going to take the mat and the jack away from Raynor and Smith as they score another 2-0. They now lead, Val Smith and Lisa Prado, after 2 of the 18 ends. Women's pairs final at these Summerset National Singles and Pairs at Carlton Cornwall in Auckland. We have 2 semi-finals in progress in the men's singles as well. It's now Mike Galloway leading Andrew Kelly 9-4 in the men's singles semi-final. And currently the board obstructed in the semi-final between Rory Soden and Finbar McGuigan. But certainly looks like Soden still with the lead in that one. Last report I think it was 13-7, Soden leading Finbar McGuigan. And it's now 14-9 I believe.
So Lisa Prado now on the mat on her backhand. They had a tight encounter against Sue Curran, but so the last 4 or 5 ends picked up some good scoring numbers. So watch this bowler. Prado's just looked to be on the wide side, and it is. So here is now Selena Smith.
Val, obviously a bit out of practice, out of being on the TV rink. Slightly obstructing the view previously. Just moved off that centre line on cue. Thank you, Val. And we do appreciate all the players helping us out. Obviously, we have stationary cameras and they're on the centre line to try and best show us the bowl, making its progress towards the jack.
Val Smith trying to get this bowl to slow down, doesn't need it, comes in, sits jack level and will be shot. Here now is Selena Smith with her last bowl on this, the third end. with the Raynor combination, leading 2-0. And there you can see on the screen the charcoaly bowl of Lisa Prado, which is shot. And this bowl again just looks to be on that wide side, and it is going to, it'll come by the head. I won't be too concerned about that. It's over the head.
Bit of a mid-green discussion between Raynor and Selena Smith, and then Val Smith and Lisa Prado also in discussion. Expect a few of them as this final continues.
Dale Raynor, a leading New Zealand indoor bowler, and represented New Zealand on a number of occasions. And in fact, last year, Alex from Bowls New Zealand and Dale Raynor both played in the North Island team together. As we watch Dale Raynor now on the Johnsonville Club in Wellington, it's on that wider side, and we'll go by. This one that just doesn't seem to. We'll watch a few more ends, but just doesn't seem to have that natural arc. Of course, weight's got to be right to be able to see that arc working on that backhand. So here is now Val Smith holding one on the backhand, and that's certainly on a narrower line to the bowl we saw of Dale Raynor's. This is going to sit in and behind the jack. That'll be the shot itself, so then literally right on the centre line, only centimetres from the jack. Well played by that 5 times New Zealand title holder, of course blackjack for many years. Dale Raynor is going to be under the head.
Yeah, playing with that attacking weight, so either get the jack or the shot bowl, just slightly undergreened. Doesn't need to make a huge adjustment with that weight.
So Val Smith again on the backhand, winner here in 2019. And you see, it just seems to get that line dead right, because it certainly just doesn't seem to have that same draw. But so here now is Dale Raynor with her last bowl on the second end. Third end, sorry, of 18.
Looks on a decent line. It's just got too much weight, unfortunately. So for that weight needed to be slightly narrower.
So that Prado and Smith in the peach top. Peach we go with?
Yeah, I'm happy with peach.
Peach, we go with peach.
Both Selena Smith, Dale Raynor, and also the Hendra Bruce combination were all wearing black.
They were.
So it's good to have a bit of contrast in the final here with Val Smith and Lisa Prado in their peach kit.
Oh, she doesn't like it. You see
No,
straight
certainly
away.
Doesn't like that.
You can see why.
She's a character. She is a character on the mat straight away. She knew that wasn't to be, and you see Selena Smith laughing because of the histrionics on the mat from her namesake Val Smith. So two Val Smith and Lisa Prado, but not a third. Wasn't able to be drawn there by Val Smith. So 2 apiece now. Val Smith and Lisa Prado against Dale Raynor and Selena Smith.
And as Brendan said, those men's singles semi-finals going on. The games between Michael Galloway and Andrew Kelly, and Rory Soden up against Finbar McGuigan.
And it's Mike Galloway leading Andrew Kelly, the defending champ, 9-6. That's Mike Galloway out of Royal Oak. Andrew Kelly out of Canterbury 2017. And it's Rory Soden still leading Finbar McGuigan. So the Carlton Cornwall player leading Finbar McGuigan of Stokes Valley, 14-10. Now the scoreline in that one.
So now the umpire, Sue Rossiter, is out to check the length of the jack. I'm not sure whether this is going to be up or not. Looked a bit light on the length. And we quickly had a look at it through the monitor. Just depends how far the mat is in fact up. And back it goes.
So the jack given up by Lisa Prado, not the regulation length. So now Selena Smith grabs the mat, brings it forward a bit to where she feels most comfortable, her and Dale Raynor. And now she'll deliver the jack, no doubt a lot longer than what Lisa Prado was endeavouring to. As long as it stays on the green, it'll be spotted on the 2 metre mark.
So 11 New Zealand titles between these 4 players. Which,
well, they've all won one. None of them are looking for their first.
Here is now Lisa Prado, lives on Waiheke Island and commutes to Auckland to play her bowls here at Carlton, Cornwall. And looks on a pretty good line. Just looks as though it's got a bit of weight in it, and it has. And certainly goes by with a bit of speed. And just see a bit of cloud come over it. No threat of rain, but just saw a cloud come over then. Just not that makes any difference to the speed of the green whatsoever.
Well, when she won the pairs with Val Smith at Carlton Cornwall a couple of years ago, I think she only just become a member at the club, or was pretty much auditioning for a membership at Carlton Cornwall, and she's remained here at the host club of these Summerset Nationals.
And of course was also part, Brendan, played for the North Island, winning North Island side, and then was part of the Auckland women's side that won the National Intercenter final Intercenter in Howick a couple of years back. So, and played for a number of years at St John's Park in Sydney, and was always part of their top Premier Division pennant side, playing with such players as Karen Murphy, Kelsey Cottrell, so a number of the top Australian players as well. So very formidable, very good off the front player, and has a good record here, does Lisa Prado and Val Smith in the Summerset pairs, 3 years in a row, winner, semi-finalist, and again in the final again this year. And of course, as Brendan said earlier, Selena Smith in fact is the defending pairs title holder. As we watch this bowl of Prado's just slip by, or slip under the head short, should be disappointed with that. 2 all after 3 of 18 ends.
We've seen some movement on the scoreboard in the men's singles semi-final between Rory Soden of Carlton Cornwall and Finbar McGuigan of Stokes Valley. So I'll better give you an update there. And Mike Galloway has actually extended his lead against the defending champion Andrew Kelly. It's now 11-6. 11-6 in the race to 21 men's singles semi-final. And Finbar McGuigan has just scored against Rory Soden, as he's got the jack in the mat, but just unsure exactly how many he has scored. I think he might have reached double figures, so that semi-final has tightened up between 2 of the young players remaining here at these Summerset Nationals. Of course, it will be the men's final coverage of to follow this one.
So here's Val Smith with her first bowl on this, the 4th end, 2 down on the head, then had a perfect line to the jack, just needed half a metre of weight as Dale Raynor makes her way back towards the mat.
And it's 14-11, Finbar McGuigan trailing Rory Soden in that men's semi-final.
So Dale Raynor now on the backhand holding 2 is the Raynor-Smith combination. And watch this bowl of Dale Raynor's. Looks as though Coming back now, how's the weight? Not quite going to have the weight to reach the counting area. No, it doesn't. And the target area for Val Smith now is between her short bowl and the bowl out to the Dale Raynor bowl. Val Smith was able to draw in between those two bowls. She would be close to holding shot as she delivers this bowl head on that, but it's going to be narrow.
Yeah, it certainly looks it, doesn't it? Those charcoal and white bowls of hers.
You can tell very quickly whether it's sitting in relation to the line. And
made a pretty good adjustment with the weight, just didn't quite have the line. This looks on a better line. Is it perhaps a bit too wide? Maybe it doesn't have the weight. It certainly hasn't got the weight. It's going to finish up well short from Dale Raynor.
Now, the line now, I think Val Smith has to change a hand, because to try and play down there now, every chance to get tangled up in amongst that short bowl up there of Dale Raynor's. It was the bowl out in the front of the head there for Val Smith is in fact the Lisa Prado bowl. She was to turn that into the head. That may make second shot, but she'll be endeavouring to draw through those bowls, change a hand.
So after going to visit the head, now made her way back to the mat, taking a bit of time to work out exactly what she wants to do, composes herself on the mat, now delivers on that forehand side, being under the line on the previous hand. This time it looks on a decent line, but might run into a bit of traffic. Yeah, doesn't have the weight. Runs into Lisa Prado bowl.
I'll be disappointed with how both skips to date have played this end, because there is quite a bit of room into the jack. And again, this bolt looks as though it's going to stay out on the wide side. It's coming back now, but hasn't got the weight. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not a bad effort, but yeah, he's not happy with that, Dale Raynor.
Two.
So the two Selena Smith bowls scoring for her combination with Dale Raynor. So 4-2. They reclaim the lead after now 4 ends have been completed. About to play the 5th end. 4-2 Dale Raynor and Selena Smith leading Val Smith and Lisa Prado.
So Brendan, a question for you. If Selena Smith was to win this final and give her gold star and back-to-back pairs titles, of course when the World Bowls team was announced, Selena Smith wasn't part of that side. So what would you think going forward now with Selena Smith's the Trans-Tasman coming up, possible at World Championships we hope in September? Would have to have sort of, you would think, done enough for the selectors to say, yeah, you deserve to be back in there.
Oh, you'd think so, especially with the retirement of Joe Edwards. So straight away a spot's opened up. If Caitlin Inch is the player that replaces Joe Edwards in the singles and the pairs, which you'd think
that would be the way.
Probably be the way. Obviously, you're disrupting the triple and the four, taking a skipper out of those teams. But yeah, give her the best chance. New Zealand the best chance in the singles, putting Caitlin Inch, who's I think quite clearly New Zealand's best female player now that Joe Edwards has retired. So, and then you think, well, Selena Smith had a pretty good combination with Caitlin Inch 12 months ago at the Nationals. So would Selena Smith potentially go into that pair? And then I suppose it all hinges on who's going to be your skip for the triple and the four. Can you convince Mandy Boyd back, or does it go back to Val Smith? Because
one would think when the wish would ideally be for Mandy Boyd, one would think to be available, because that certainly then addresses the skip situation, doesn't it? And then you've got both with Caitlin Inch and Mandy Boyd, you've got two skips, and that's fine. And then it comes to, and you would think that you would play Caitlin Inch in the pairs, give the best player 3 bowls, and her and Selena Smith have got a got a track record between them, and one would think it would be enough to edge yourself back into that New Zealand side. But it's up to the selectors. That's nothing to do with us.
Yeah, and then of course Taylor Bruce, who was named in that World Championship team. That was obviously supposed to happen last year, those World Championships on the Gold Coast. It's been postponed to this year. I hope September, but I don't know really if that's going to be a possibility at this stage. Debbie White was another player named and yet to play for New Zealand.
Yes.
She hasn't had a Nationals to remember from her perspective.
No, and obviously we can have an opinion, but you would think that it will be a challenge for Debbie White, you would think, but who knows, because
which is very harsh on Debbie White, not actually getting that opportunity, is it, to play for New Zealand and show that she was deserving perhaps of that selection, and then to potentially be replaced. Obviously we'll wait and see what the selectors do, but when you look at how all the national squad members have performed, the Blackjack squad members have performed at these nationals, all the other women have performed, got better results than Debbie White. So it'll be one for the selectors to mull over.
And a bit to mull over with the men as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly perhaps a bit of a changing of the guard starting to happen. I think Andrew Kelly has obviously last year certainly cemented his place in the squad, along the likes of with the Shannon McElroys and Mike Kernan and Ali Forsyth, who are just, you're always going to be picking those players in your squads. Obviously Crystal Olive unable to get over here, which is always difficult for those based over in Oz. And then likes of Finbar McGuigan coming through.
Yeah, and Crystal Olive did put his hand up as well, winning the Queensland State Pairs, beating Aaron Sheriff in the final. Well, that's no mean feat. And so it'll be interesting to see. Well, the plan is with the Trans-Tasman, of course, that there'll be a number of players go over for that Trans-Tasman, which will really enable it to take a bit of a trial, I suppose, as we watch this second bowl of Val Smith breaking down towards the head, holding a couple as the Smith-Prado combination. It could count as well.
Yeah, it should do. Good bowl from
3, I think.
Val Smith. So putting pressure on this final bowl for Dale Raynor. On this, the 5th end of 18. He's going to need a bit of luck here. Doesn't get the slice off that.
It might be 4.
Val Smith bowl. Yeah, it could well be.
I'm just looking at the other charcoal bowl out to the side.
Yeah, certainly a chance of that being 4. And of course, Val Smith still has her last bowl to play.
Big end.
After looking to see what Dale Raynor was capable of doing, she now makes her way back to the clubhouse end here at Carlton, Cornwall. Good crowd watching on. Not just this women's pairs final, but also our 2 men's singles semi-finals, which are taking place at the same time.
Oh, here is Val Smith, needs to get past that front bowl and is going to.
Oh, that's a very good bowl from Val Smith.
Well, let's see what the number is.
It looks like 5.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it is 5. The marker confirms. So 7-4. Big end from Val Smith and Lisa Prado. Val Smith would have been saying, how come I couldn't have got any of them in the last game? It was very tough to come by in both semi-finals, actually. Scoring was very difficult to come by, but a big number there by the 2019 champions who won 2 years ago here at Carlton, Cornwall. 7-4. Val Smith and Lisa Prado now leading Dale Raynor and Selena Smith.
That was a strange head in some regards, Brendan, wasn't it? Because there was quite a bit of room to get, perhaps not get the shot, but certainly reduce. But the Dale Raynor bowls just hung out, and so it's a great end for the Val Smith-Lisa Prado combination.
So 5 ends completed, now playing the 6th. Val Smith and Lisa Prado now leading by 3 after that big 5 on the 5th end.
Val Smith trying to coax the Lisa Prado bowl onto the jack. Will finish jack level, and of course Lisa Prado's son, he won a New Zealand Fours title as well in Taranaki, playing with Bo, who also plays out at St John's Park Club, playing with Rowan Brassey. Won the National Fours. In fact, beat Andrew Kelly in the final. Good opening bowl from Selena Smith. Comes right back towards the centre line. So we've been fortunate. That bad weather's gone away, and we'll get through the whole day. No further interruptions. As we watch this bowl of Lisa Prado's breaking towards the jack, just going to lack on the last couple of rolls, I think. Certainly was on a good line to the jack, Selena Smith.
Yeah, men's singles final to follow. It will no doubt get underway before the women's pairs final is completed. But we will stick with the coverage of this and then join the men's singles final once we are done here. We find a champion. It is Mike Galloway now leading Andrew Kelly, the defending champion, in the men's singles, 13-9. And it's really tightened up in the other semi-final. It's Rory Soden of the Carlton Cornwall Club here, leading Finbar McGuigan, 14-13. McGuigan of Stokes Valley, one of the form players in New Zealand over the last 12 months, that's for sure. On the Wellington Pairs and Fours already this season. He's a New Zealand under-26 singles champion, and very much viewed as one of the future stars of the game. If you didn't hear Mike Kernahan in commentary the other day, very effusive in his praise of McGuigan, who was his Pairs partner at these Summerset Nationals. Pairs didn't work out their way, but McGuigan delivering so far in the singles.
Yeah, and I have to agree with Mike Kernahan. I've been watching this young fella now for a couple of years. Watched him very closely last year at Burnside, the Burnside Pairs, where he got through to the semi-finals and in fact beat Mike Kernahan on the way through. Mike Kernahan and Tony Grantham, and he's certainly one of the players of the future. And it's not if he will play for New Zealand, it's when, that's for sure. He's certainly got the abilities. We watched this bowl of Val Smith breaking in towards the head turns. The Lisa Prado bowl onto the jack, but it goes too far. It was well played and just moved it towards the Selena Smith bowl.
Gets a bit unlucky there, really. I thought it may even moved it towards that other Lisa Prado bowl out to the left of screen, just in front of Selena Smith's there, but wasn't to be. Jack moved its way towards the Selena Smith bowls.
She hit the shot for a second,
yeah.
Then it just rolled away again, and it was well played by Val Smith.
Yeah, very good bowl. Great effort. So we'll get another opportunity. Dale Raynor playing though next on this, the 6th end, almost the third of the way through this women's pairs final, the penultimate title game at these Summerset National singles and pairs.
Dale Raynor now on her forehand, coming down to try and reach where the two Selena Smith bowls are, just sitting in behind the head, and I'm pretty sure Val Smith will follow that line. Val Smith has the bowl, the Bacchus bowl on the green down there by Lisa Prado's feet, so if Val Smith was to get contact with the jack and it was to move back, they do have the benefit of a bowl down and behind the head. There is Val Smith now. She's on the search here. How's this one look as it's breaking down towards
not
these
far
two
away.
bowls? If it gets these two bowls or it gets the jack, moves it out to the side. And, well, oh, is that shot, Brendan?
There's not much in it. She got a bit unlucky again because she almost executed to perfection. Got the jack, got rid of the shot bowl, or moved the shot bowl. But where the jack is now, Dale Raynor's about to find. It's academic about who was holding shot because it's certainly Dale Raynor now. So if Val Smith had grabbed it, it was only momentarily as Dale Raynor did not waste any time on the mat.
I'm pretty sure if Val Smith can see that bowl on the backhand drive, that I'm pretty sure that's what she'll be playing because the advantage of the back bowls again.
Yeah, I think where it is though, put out to the side, it's going to be pretty difficult to access. Might have to come with you could potentially come with a weighted bowl through the port, but yeah, I don't see that going back into the ditch. More likely to kill it.
I think
you can see the jack, but it's pretty narrow.
I think it's a full-blooded drive really on the backhand to try and dislodge the bowl. And here's Val Smith on the mat, and that's certainly definitely the backhand. It's going to play that drive weight that we talked about. I'm not sort of sure what that weight really is. It's reaching down to the bowl.
Yeah, trying to get through that port as well as talking about. 'Cause I don't know if from the angle, I don't know if the drive was quite possible getting around that Lisa Prado bowl or.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I thought she had to go really fast.
Yeah,
quick at it, you know, and they're always difficult shots to play. As she just played them, but well played by Dale Raynor.
Yeah, chance to try and emulate that.
She's got another good bowl here by the looks. How's it goes? It goes breaking down towards Lisa Prado and
urging it on to Selena Smith. I think it's enough. So. Yeah, it
well
certainly
played.
has. Two great bowls there by Dale Raynor, and it's 3 because they must have been holding shot before her first draw. So all tied up, 7 apiece after 6 of the 18 ends, a third of the way through our women's pairs final. Val Smith, Lisa Prado, Dale Raynor and Selena Smith all tied up. 14-9, Mike Galloway leading Andrew Kelly. Men's singles semi-final. Mike Galloway, the 2001 pairs champion and runner-up in the singles in 2001. Well, Andrew Kelly, of course, our defending champion and was runner-up in the pairs last year, going for his 4th national title. Another end completed in the other semi-final between Rory Soden and Finbar McGuigan. And Finbar McGuigan has got the jack in the mat, but he was trailing 17-13 on the scoreboard. Wait for some movement front of the board to give you what it is. I think it might be 17-15 now. Rory Soden leading Finbar McGuigan. So Rory Soden possibly just one end away from a place in the final. Player representing Carlton, Cornwall, out of Great Barrier Island. men's singles semi-final.
They could go either way, those two.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing.
The Galloway-Kelly semi-final starting about quarter of an hour after the McGuigan-Soden semi-final.
Great attempt here from Lisa Prado coming back to the centre line, but the bowler Selena Smith's just slightly lower the jack. So here's Selena Smith now on her forehand. And Raynor looking closely at this bowl and clapping this Selena Smith bowl, which is going to finish literally jack high in a good position. It's interesting that Lisa Prado's persevering with that backhand, with that jack low bowl there, but obviously confident that's her hand that she likes and she can draw around that bowl, but that looks as though it's going to be under the bowl, and it is.
Yeah, just needed another metre of weight there on that bowl. Made its way back to the centre line well.
I just question that, Brennan, because trying to, as you've spoken about, getting those effective bowls on the head, to me, the best way now for them to get effective for Val Smith is to get effective bowls on the forehand side, because it's now opening the door up for the other opposition side.
And Selena Smith has walked straight through it.
Absolutely.
An open door that Lisa Prado did not close by persisting with that backhand. I think Val Smith has said, Lisa, change hand.
Because, sticking with that backhand, but she has to get around the bowl to get the shot or second shot. So it's on its way on the backhand. Of course, the danger is that you nip your green slightly. Needs a bit of luck here, and that's the problem by trying to play those shots when to me that could have been played better. Just by following that line of Selena Smith's 3 shots and they change over.
And is that more from Val Smith being at the head saying to Lisa, no, you need to change hands?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not blaming Val. They might feel comfortable playing there.
Of course.
I'm not sure. But it's just if you want to get effective bowls on the head or second shot, to me the way to get those was actually on the open forehand draw. And it's interesting now, Dale Raynor's gone to the backhand because she can play in behind those bowls now, not with cover, and has got plenty of room, and that'll count that backhand draw. And straight away,
Val Smith is under pressure.
Yeah, and that's 3 ineffective bowls there from Lisa Prado on this, the 8th end. And not that that's deliberate, but it's really just about strategy of how it's game management, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. So here is Val Smith, the New Zealand player, needs to get some luck here, but just going to run by and 4 down. And what I'm saying, Brendan, is on the other hand, you just take your line to where that second shot bowl is of Selena Smith's. That's where you try and draw to just giving you a more effective hit. And it's game management. Got to change a hand here. It's impossible to play now with that bowler Dale Raynors. It's impossible to get a reduction result on the back end. So now with 2 bowls to play, Val Smith has reverted to that forehand and 4 down on the head.
Needs something. Good second. A great boost.
Needs to come back a long way from there, and it's in fact going to go past. Needs to sit under the bowls. And of course what's going through Val Smith's mind is, I can't be short. Can't be short. I've got to be up.
And overcompensating there.
And it all comes about because you've spent bowls trying to get round a bowl when should have been trying to get bowls, in my view, on the head.
Roy Soden now just 2 shots away from a place in the men's singles final. He's now leading Finbar McGuigan 19-17. In the other semi-final, Mike Galloway now leading Andrew Kelly 17-11. So potentially a couple of upsets. I think at the start of the semi-final, you would have thought maybe we're going to see a Finbar McGuigan, Andrew Kelly final. At the moment, it's the other way. Rory Soden and Mike Galloway have had their say and are currently leading both of those semi-finals.
So here is big pressure on Val Smith. 5 times New Zealand title holder, current blackjack, and 4 down on the head, and two behind on the board. It's imperative that second shot at the best.
Well, you'll be marking this down as a pivotal end, won't you, Kevin? You already have, in fact. Whatever the result is here, if Val Smith is able to grab the shot, or whether it's going to be a 4-2.
Under the line.
Yeah, it is well short as well. So after being too heavy with her second bowl, her third bowl is well short. And it is 4 to Raynor and Smith, 13-7. They jump out to a 6-shot lead now as we approach the 9th end of 18. So a 6-shot lead, and we're not quite halfway through this contest.
Well, a 3, a 2 and a 4 after scoring a 5. That's yeah. And I hope the New Zealand selectors coaches were watching that particular head very closely, because if you're going to play, so Val's going to play at the back end of a New Zealand team, you just can't get yourself in those suicide positions.
And Val Smith, particularly when it comes to triples and fours, is certainly more comfortable not at the skipping roles. She freely would admit that, wouldn't she?
Absolutely.
Certainly enjoys playing as a 2 and a triple, or a 3 and a 4.
So on the forehand, a lot of work now for the 2019 champions up against the 2017 champion and defending champion in Alicia Prado and Selena Smith. That bowl of Alicia Prado's is short, because Smith and Prado came through the hard way of section play. They had to win their last game to qualify.
Yeah, they certainly didn't make it easy for themselves in qualifying, but now they've made it all the way through to the final, and they had to come from behind as well in their semi-final. For long periods, Sue Curran and Paula Kempthorne, or St Heliers, were leading their semi-final. Smith and Prado clawed their way back, so they'll still believe they're well in this contest. They'll keep fighting.
And going to run into the Alicia Prado bowl and roll it in towards the head. Still be 1 though to Selena Smith bowl, which is in behind the jack. You can see there on the screen. Selena Smith will no doubt play on her backhand. Looks as though this is on a good line, this bowl as well, of Selena Smith coming down towards that centre line. And it's a very, very good bowl from the New Zealand player.
And recognised by Dale Raynor, and even Val Smith clapped that one, because that was a great bowl by the lead of Raynor's pair.
So this is a very difficult shot that Alicia Prado was attempting to play with bowls, and that was again, I would have thought the option was to follow the Selena Smith bowl.
If you can sit on that shot.
Absolutely.
You got a good decent target there to land on as well. I think I might have seen Finbar McGuigan go very close to pick up the match. I think I saw a hands-on head. I think he's maybe collected a 2 or a 3. He was 19-17 down against Rory Soden. So that semi-final is continuing. I'll bring you a score update as soon as that's flicked over. Yes, he picked up a 2, so we're all 19 apiece now. Rory Soden, Great Barrier Island, representing Carlton Cornwall here, up against Finbar McGuigan of the Stokes Valley Club. And still Mike Galloway leading Andrew Kelly, the defending champion. Royal Oak playing Canterbury 2017. 17-12, that is. Galloway leading Andrew Kelly.
So Val Smith now with all the work in front of him. 13-7 down, dropping a 3, a 2 and a 4 over the last 3 ends.
Yeah, I think they were 7-4 up after that 5. They were gifted, weren't they, on the 5th end?
And so Val Smith changed her hand, which was the right thing to do. Needs to get the jack. Is under at the head. 2 down.
Dale Raynor, who was well short with her first, will look to make the appropriate correction. Playing also on the backhand. So it looks on a better line, but again, not going to have the weight, I don't think. It comes up short, so it's not going to change the count. Certainly was better bowl than her first, but not where she wanted it to finish up.
So Val Smith now going to reach up to those 2 Selena Smith counting bowls. Here's the line of this bowl. Is it going to go by or sit on one of them? Rest them. But so you can see what I've been saying. Now we've got Val Smith trying to play this sort of all sorts of weight to try and get results. And with no bowls around the head, and that's really come about through what I would call literally game management. So it'll be 3.
Oh, maybe even 4.
Well, there's plenty there for Val Smith to rest on the draw. Don't steer the bowl. Let the bowl work, break into the head, and endeavour to sit on those. Got a score on this end because this has been brutal the last 3 ends.
I need something here. Bowl is vitally important. Otherwise, you might be making another note against this end here. And this one looks on a good line. Already applauded by Selena Smith. Is it going to be a touch? It is. And that'll be the shot. Well played by Val Smith. Very important moment in this match. Looked like Raynor and Selena Smith were holding 4. Val Smith draws the shot with the final bowl of the 9th end. And there's now 5 between the two. Dale Raynor and Selena Smith leading Val Smith and Lisa Prado 13-8 at the halfway stage of this women's pairs final here at the Carlton Cornwall Club in Auckland.
And quite often in these situations, Brendan, a skipper would say, right, well, let's just follow the other lead. Virtually play the other lead's hand as well. And it can just, because it means you are going to get bowls in and around the head. When you're struggling, sometimes it's just best to follow the opposition. And I'm not saying that Lisa Prado is struggling, but it's just about endeavouring to get those effective bowls to build a head. And well done to Val Smith to draw the shot there. But it was desperation stuff, really. And that's a great bowl. So here is now Prado on that backhand. Trailing 13-8 at the halfway mark. Just breaking down towards the centre line. This is a good opening bowl from Lisa Prado. Sits right alongside the jack.
Yeah, nice little settler. Obviously, last few ends, Selena Smith's had that first bowl and has left Prado playing catch-up. And this time, taking advantage of having the jack in the mat. Good first up bowl, and now it's Selena Smith trying to match Lisa Prado. Her first one goes around the back, finds a good home just under the tee. may come in handy if there's some jack movement.
So here is Lisa Prado on her backhand. That looks to be on a similar line to her first bowl. Coming down towards the centre line, going past, going to go back towards the tee. And that's okay. That's back. Because Dale Raynor is certainly not afraid at all to attack the head. So here now, interesting, Selena Smith, she's quickly elected to play the same hand as what we saw Lisa Prado. A lot of applause going on out there in the men's singles.
Yeah, it was either, as Finbar McGuigan just won, or it has been completed. I can't quite tell. Finbar McGuigan does not give much away if he's celebrating or if he's lost, so it's very hard to tell whether he has just won that contest. But that first men's semi-final has been completed. Rory Soden of Carlton Cornwall and Finbar McGuigan of Stokes Valley, and I'll endeavour to find out what the result of that was for you. And it's Mike Galloway, who's now just 3 away from joining one of those two in the final. Mike Galloway of Royal Oak leading Andrew Kelly, the defending champion, 18-12.
Good ball here from Selena Smith. Runs the jack off that shot ball of Lisa Prado's toucher. Well played by the Takapuna player. Leading 13-8.
And I'll just pop out for a moment to find out who took that, whether it was Rory Soden or Finbar McGuigan in the men's singles semi-final.
So here now is Val Smith.
I don't even need to leave my seat. Thank you, Tamara. Rory Soden is the first player through to the men's singles final. What a result from the player from Great Barrier, beating Finbar McGuigan 21-19. McGuigan, one of the form players in New Zealand. And now out of the men's singles, Rory Soden, new member here at Carlton Cornwall, through to the final to face either Mike Galloway or Andrew Kelly. And as I mentioned, it is Mike Galloway who's leading Andrew Kelly 18-12 in that other men's singles semi-final. But our focus right here on Sky Sport next is the women's pairs final. No doubt that men's singles final will get underway before we finish here, but we will stay with the coverage until we find a new champion. And then we will start our coverage of that men's singles final, joining it when it's underway.
So Dale Raynor and Selena Smith holding one shot at present. And the bowler Dale Raynor's good attempt to get back to that centre line. Val Smith now come down. I hope she plays best option with reaching weight to get to the Selena Smith bowl, or to turn her own bowls into the head on its way on the backhand. And she's following this bowl, looks on the wide side out of the hand, but we'll see how far this comes back to the centre line. It'll get to the centre line, but it'll have weight to get down to the 2 metre mark. And with great attempt, but not to beat, one down. And we'll see what happens with this bowl of Dale Raynor's, but see with that Val Smith, if this bowl doesn't get into the counting area, she's going to attack that, what is the shot bowl. And this looks a pretty good bowl here from Raynor, but it's not going to have the weight now. Here's the opportunity, Brendan. Back bowl here for Prado and Smith. 3 bowls on the head, and can run down there with weight on that backhand and remove that bowl if possible, and would be laying 3 shots with Dale Raynor to play her bowl.
So an opportunity here for Val Smith. She executed to perfection with the draw on the previous end when it looked like Raynor and Smith were holding 4. Did it with her final bowl. What can she do with her final bowl this time?
Playing with that weight, as we spoke about, Brendan, trying to get to the shot bowl.
Looks under the line.
Goddard, in fact, was well under the line.
And it pushes in that Selena Smith bowl.
Yeah, perhaps needed to be played quicker to get down to that.
Yeah, quicker or otherwise start it a lot wider.
And good bowl coming in here. Is it going to get all the way? This bowler, Dale Raynors, falls back. It'd be interesting to see whether that's made 2 of it. This could be an umpire with the chalk measure. We'll just wait and see.
Selena Smith doing the honours initially. Coming to that Val Smith bowl to start with. Now she'll come to her own. And you're going to need a call for the umpire, Sue Rossiter. You'll need those chocks, as you mentioned, to keep that bowl in place. I think the Selena Smith bowl is the shot, but I just don't want to have the other bowl fall in. So, chocks coming in there under that Dale Raynor green bowl, lime green bowl. So take away the Selena Smith bowl.
Yeah, good coaches would tell you, Brendan, with that particular shot, that you actually you know where the bowlers you've got to get to, but you actually visualise on the green with your weight where that breaking point is. That's going to get you, because the minute you try and steer it down to the bowl, it's going to obviously run under the head, and you either play it with a lot more weight or just, as you say, start out on that wider line, visualise where that breaking point is. But
you have to be absolutely perfect that way, don't you? If you start it with more weight, you got more of a chance.
Absolutely. So this looks like 2.
So that Dale Raynor bowl did count, just sitting on the Selena Smith bowl. So 2 more to Raynor and Smith. And it's now 15-8. They lead after 10 of the 18 ends. Already found 1 finalist in the men's singles, which will start probably in the next half an hour or so. The men's singles final. That being Rory Soden. You remember here at Carlton Cornwall, celebrating with a berth in the finals. He's beaten Finbar McGuigan, one of the form players in the country, 21-19. And I think Mike Galloway is now just a shot away, 20-12. He's leading the defending champion, Andrew Kelly. So Andrew Kelly's time as men's singles champion may be about to end. He's got his trophy, the end of the rink. And Mike Galloway might be returning to the final 20 years after being beaten in the men's singles final.
Yes, he was 2001, where he was defeated by Mike Kernahan, and of course, in 2001 he won the Peers with David Clark, Michael Galloway.
Exactly, that was his national title. He won. Represented New Zealand around that time as well, didn't he? And then took a bit of time away from bowls, and recent times has returned to it in quite dominant fashion in the Auckland region. I know him and Martin Dixon, his peers partner Royal Oak, were named Auckland Bowlers of the Year a couple of seasons ago, maybe 3 years ago.
I certainly never lost that ability which Mike Galloway, the Gannet, has got as a draw player and a shot selection player. He's always been a very, very good draw player, and not as yet that he has beaten Andrew Kelly, but if he does make the final, he's certainly a very, very worthy finalist, because great scalp, really, it's a great effort. Michael Galloway has yesterday beat Jeremy Brosnan to make his way through. Of course, then he played Timothy Hook.
And he beat Aidan Takarua as well, didn't he, in the round of 32.
Great bowling here from
He beat
Selena
Mike Kernahan. Who did he beat? Was it Mike Kernahan? I'm trying to remember who he
beat. One of the leading players for sure is Lisa Prado, again in a bit of bother here after Selena Smith has controlled this head very well. The bowl looks on the wide side on the way through. Is it going to come all the way back to the centre line? Has it got the weight to get all the way down? No, it hasn't. Certainly was on line, but needed that metre of weight to get to where the Selena Smith bowls are counting.
So what we're saying is Mike Galloway does make it in the final. He's well and truly earned his place.
Absolutely.
He hasn't had a cushy draw. And just showing his great ability that he still has. I know he's very much missed by the Royal Oak Rockets in bowls 3-5. That was seen in the fact that they were relegated from bowls 3-5 on Sky Sports. Still have a chance to get back in, of course, for another season, but finishing at the bottom of the table with Mike Galloway not playing in season 3, and he was their regular skipper, course, and they just really missed that play at the back end.
Was certainly missed that experience, Brenton, wasn't he?
And just his ability, especially when it came to tiebreaker ends. They actually had a very good record in tiebreaker ends in the first couple of years with Mike Galloway, often getting his triple out of trouble, but without him to rely on, Rockets, unfortunately for them, found their way out of play.
Trying to get into this area where Selena Smith has drawn the shot, and can't quite see where it will be. Second shot perhaps, trailing though 15-8 as we come to the end, or the back end of end 11. Dale Raynor now on the back end, looks to be under the line, not going to do any damage though.
It wasn't Mike Kernahan who he played earlier on. Just looking at draws, Brian Fisher, he played in the first round of section play, 21-10 win. Then Nick Boddicker, 21-3 victor. Then Aidan Takarua in the round of 32, 21-16 before that win over Jeremy Brosnan in the round of 16, 21-10, which Kevin mentioned.
So Val Smith on the backhand, fighting to stay in this women's pairs final. I'd say one down, and Lisa Prado looking at this ball, but it's under that centre line. You've got to be in between the Val Smith bowl and the Lisa Prado bowl to get to the counting area, or the shot area. Dale Raynor, long time Wellington representative, needs to get to the Val Smith bowl. Selena Smith trying to urge it into the head, gets a turn on the bowl, and
it turned the Val Smith bowl, didn't it? Which wouldn't have helped. It was a good effort from Dale Raynor, but she really wanted to be inside that bowl of Val Smith.
So Val Smith now will endeavour to draw to her own bowl. 15-8 down as we come to the end of 11 of 18, and the recovery has to start very soon.
And Andrew Kelly has forced at least another end in the men's singles semi-final. The defending champ still fighting, not willing to give away that title just yet. 2013, he now trails Mike Galloway. Mike Galloway one shot away from a place in the final against Carlton Cornwall's Rory Soden, as that is short.
Under the line again is the Val Smith bowl.
But it is one to Val Smith, so that roll from Dale Raynor. Must have been enough for Val Smith and Lisa Prado to score. So 15-9 it is now. Dale Raynor and Selena Smith leading Lisa Prado and Val Smith.
So Val Smith asking to have the jack delivered right down towards the 2 metre mark. In fact, her foot is standing right on the T mark, the 2 metre T mark. And Lisa Prado is delivered on that. And it's right, so we've got a full length head now because the mat is virtually at the normal 2 metre mark. And the jack is sitting right on the 2 metre mark. On the back end now is Lisa Prado, 2019 Pairs winner with Val Smith, of course, here at Carlton, Cornwall, on that very green, in fact. As we watch this bowl of Lisa Prado's just come back. It's a good bowl. It's a very good opening bowl.
It certainly is. Just like last time they had the mat, it was a great opening bowl from Lisa Prado. How does Selena Smith reply? She
looks on a good line, this bowler, Selena Smith.
Replies in kind with an even better bowl. That falls in. Near toucher from Selena Smith. Great response. Challenge was laid down by Lisa Prado and Selena Smith responded.
Just looking down on the green now, coming down towards the clubhouse, you can see the green's now starting to get a bit of shine on it. So see that pace will just be starting to pick up a wee bit. It's a poor bowl of Lisa Prado's. That's just about gone dead. On the other hand, on the draw,
I'll be disappointed with that one.
Certainly would be. Selena Smith now with her second bowl on end 12 of 18. Drew the shot with her first. This bowl looks as though it's going to finish just outside the Lisa Prado's second shot bowl.
Not a bad effort again as we're playing a full length end here. Lisa Prado will just have to forget about her second. Clear the memories, try and focus on this, her third bowl.
Val Smith's looking closely.
This is a good line too.
It breaks towards their head. Is it going to get the jack? It does. Unlucky.
Just fell away, which may mean it's Smith that's holding shot. Selena Smith, that is. Great bowl. Great response after, as you said, a poor second bowl. Her first one was good and her third was brilliant.
Selena Smith again.
Looks not too far away, this one either. It's going to get a nice little touch off that wing bowl of Prado. Won't change the count. It's a very good home to be. Now this leaves that one Prado bowl in the head.
Does that come to a finish? No, I see that just Andrew Kelly walking back. I heard a large noise over there, I thought.
Yeah, still a couple of bowls, I think, left in that latest end of that men's singles semi-final between Mike Galloway of Royal Oak and Andrew Kelly of Canterbury 2017 in Christchurch, the defending champion, of course, in that discipline. Straight away, Val Smith realising that was under the line. That's going to find a pretty similar home to Lisa Prado's second. And straight away she knew it. It looks like we may have a conclusion over there in the men's singles semi-final. So Mike Galloway, 20 years after he was last in the final of the men's singles, is back again. This time to play Rory Soden. So it's an all Auckland final in the men's singles here at the Summerset Nationals in Auckland. It'll be Rory Soden of the hometown club, a new member here at Carlton Cornwall, up against Mike Galloway from Royal Oak. Not too far down the road here from the Carlton Cornwall club. No doubt would have played each other previously, Rory Soden and Mike Galloway. So the defending champion is out. Andrew Kelly's reign as men's singles champion comes to an end. But what a fight he put up, going all the way to the semi-finals. Very difficult, Kevin, to go back-to-back. And he gave himself a great chance of doing that.
Well, correct, Brendan. And as we know, over the last 20 years, there's only been Ali Forsyth and Mike Kernan have done that. It's a very, very tough assignment. And Andrew Kelly has come through a very tough draw in this competition. And he'll be disappointed to lose that semi-final. But at the end of the day, to me, he's still he's still done very, very well.
So the last of the men's blackjacks is eliminated. Andrew Kelly. All the others fell short of the quarterfinals in the men's singles. Chief amongst those, the world champion, Shannon McElroy, but also past winners of that event, Gary Lawson, and also Mike Kernahan, and a few of the other fancied players like Seamus Curtin also falling short.
Is that barbecue fragrance is coming through? Is that for us, Brendan? Is it? Is someone?
Well, I'm not sure, but it smells really good, doesn't it?
It's really good.
It's a bit unfair. I think it's just coming from the kitchen around the corner, I assume.
Yeah. So big bowl here for Val Smith, trailing 15-9, and this her last bowl on the end 12 of 18, and one down on the head, and you got to be keeping in contact that to be able to present any charge at the back end of the game on end, say 14-18. Got to be getting for numbers, and definitely this bowler's on a better line. This bowler, Val Smith, is it going to get to the shot bowl? This is a sterling effort. What a bowl from Val Smith.
Oh, fantastic. Has that made it 2? Certainly one, that bowl was shot.
And Lisa Prado was told, don't touch that, it's hot. That was a magnificent bowl from Val Smith. Just what they needed. Sure, a bowl yet to come from Dale Raynor, but...
Yeah, I think that's what Selena Smith was saying to Lisa Prado. Don't take that out yet. They've still got one to play.
It is 2. I just see the lollipop man. So we'll wait to see what happens if they can hold on to these 2.
Oh, that's a stunning bowl from Val Smith.
It might just be that if they can hold on to them, who knows? Just that the confidence builder. That was a magnificent bowl. Difficult shot to play, to come down, sit on that shot bowl with the right amount of weight, turn it through the head once, and make 2 shots of it. Now is Dale Raynor on her backhand, trying to emulate what we just saw with Val Smith. It's on its way. Looks to be on the wide side from the monitor here, Brenton.
Yeah, it certainly does. I think she might just run into those bowls out the back. It's not going to change the situation. So 2 more to Val Smith and Lisa Prado. And it's a very good end, great result for them after the would have been some very close bowls around the head from both Lisa Prado and Selena Smith, and then Val Smith coming up with the pivotal bowl with her last to make it 15-11 now. Dale Raynor and Selena Smith leading Val Smith and Lisa Prado, and we are now 2/3 of the way through this women's pairs final. And we've just had word from Chris Lander, the tournament director of the Summerset Nationals, that it will be a 5 p.m. start for the men's singles final. So that in around 18 minutes. So that will no doubt be, well, we're still playing this women's pairs final unless something extraordinary happens in the next quarter of an hour or so. But
in this match, as we watch this bowl of Lisa Prado's just go by the jack, and it was sitting behind it. You'd have to go back a long time, I would say, Brendan, to find an all-Auckland final in the men's singles.
if you're telling me that, I'll go with you.
Well,
you're going to have to really jog the memory. All our records have the winners; they don't have the runners-up. Last year, obviously, it was international final with Andrew Kelly up against Ryan Burnett of Scotland, based out of Australia. And the year before that, it was Taylor Horn winning against Tony Fabling of Hillcrest, I believe. Certainly of the Waikato.
Well, the last time an Auckland player won the New Zealand singles was in fact in 2000, when it was Peter Shane won the singles 20 years ago.
No, Taylor Horn 2 years ago.
Oh, Taylor Horn, my apologies, 2019.
Yeah.
So, back to this 13th end.
Yeah, but certainly, you're right, before Taylor Horn a couple of years ago, a long, long time before that. Yeah.
So this second bolt of Selena Goddard's breaks its way into the head. So Lisa Prado has got to give Val Smith the shot, really, just to give Val that confidence to continue this fight back. Just breaks towards the centre line. Pretty good bolt from Lisa Prado's if it falls in. And Smith's riding the bowl, but I don't think it's shot. 15-11 at N13.
Selena Smith. Here's Dale Raynor excited. A couple of claps. She's down on her haunches. Interested in this.
Good bowl here from Selena Smith. Just pulls up lower the jack. Just makes it very difficult to get to the head, and really looking to see whether it's 1, 2, I imagine 3, not sure. And to me, Brendan, at this stage of the game, the scoring opportunity for Val Smith really is we'll get another view of the head.
Yeah, one blue lollipop's gone up, so signalling that that last bowl of Selena Smith is the shot.
So is Val Smith going to play down to play through the shot bowl? If the jack moves back, it's all to her advantage, because
all the Selena Smith bowls are short of the head, aren't they?
Absolutely, and sometimes in these games, to get yourself into the position to have a chance, you do have to take the challenge up, which is going on the draw.
Yeah, it's very tight alleyway to get to that jack, though, isn't it? That's the thing. She would have, having been down at the head, she would have seen, no doubt, what you saw, but trying to actually move the jack back, difficult.
Just sit around and draw the shot now, but looks under the narrow line, though, as it's breaking towards the head, just going to go by. To me, now she has to play it. She's got to take the gamble. Too hard to try and draw the shot there now, with that bowl going in there. And
as the men's singles championship trophy has made its way into our commentary position, relinquished now by Andrew Kelly. It's been great to see the trophy at the end of the rink for all of his matches and post-section play. But unfortunately for Andrew Kelly, his reign is over, losing to Mike Galloway in the semi-final. It'll either be Galloway now or Rory Soden taking out the men's singles title.
It's interesting. Val Smith come to have a look at the head. Dale Raynor's put a back bowl in, and the shot that we spoke about, she said, right, that's what you have to, and that's the best way to try and play the game now. Opportunities there, and hey, you might only get one out of it, but at least it's going to get you up to the head, and it certainly gives you a good scoring opportunity should the jack move in your favour.
And she's got a couple of opportunities at it too. She's had one go at the draw, And like you said, decided, no, that wasn't going to work out, so let's have another go. And here she goes. Val Smith trying to get to the jack. Well, she's removed a couple of those bowls from Selena Smith, which were short of the target. Still holding shot Selena Smith. The shot bowl remained. The other two were removed from the head.
So Dale Raynor now on the backhand. Trying to get another bowl adjacent to the jack. Holding one is Selena Goddard and Dale Raynor, and this bowl is going to go by the head. So what's the shot selection here for Val Smith? Is it to try and get the jack all the way back through the port there, sit the bowl out?
Yeah, now it's obviously slightly easier to access. Few different shots after she cleared out the other two Selena Smith bowls with the drive with her second.
So here now is Val Smith. Skip with Lisa Prado trying to get to that shot bowl or the jack. Oh, this is on
Lisa Prado's interested here.
This
is
is
going
on
to be
a good
just
line.
under the
This
line.
Is on a good line.
Perfect.
Well played by Val Smith.
Applauded by Selena Smith, who says to her skip, yes, we are one down now after that bowl from Val Smith, who has come up with some big bowls in recent ends.
Certainly has, and they had multiple options within it, and Val Smith played it right, the dead weight to get to that resting position. And here's this bowler, Dale Raynor. Looks as though it's just got weight. Is it going to get to the line or go under it?
Promotes the old Selena Smith bowl into the head further. It doesn't. It rocks it, but it doesn't move it. So another one to the Val Smith-Lisa Prado combination. We now trail Dale Raynor and Selena Smith 15-12 after 13 now of the 18 ends.
Well, they're certainly not out of it now, Brenton, really, are they?
Absolutely they're not.
We've still got 5 ends to go. And
so it was 15-8, wasn't it?
15-8.
Great little comeback after they went on a bit of a spree, didn't they, the Raynor-Smith combination? Well, 3, a 2, a 4, 3 ends.
So now it's the Lisa Prado to give a good start to Val Smith, because she certainly played 3 ends in a row, has played really big bowls to the one they scored at 15-8, they were down about 3 when just going up towards the Alexandra Park end, then coming the other way, squeezed the jack to make 2 of it, and then played that great bowl just then for another 1 to keep them right back in the game at 15-12 after 13 of the 18 ends here in this final of the Summerset women's pairs.
So 4 remain after this end, and we will be also starting shortly in around 10 minutes. We will have the start of the men's singles final. Rory Soden of Carlton Cornwall up against Mike Galloway of Royal Oak. And we will start our coverage of the men's singles final after we find our champion here in the women's pairs.
Great opening bowl from Selena Smith, just lower the jack, and Lisa Prado, is she equal to it here, just draws right towards the jack. A front toucher from the Waiheke bowler.
Well, Hauraki Golf well and truly represented here at finals day of the Summerset Nationals with Rory Soden of Great Barrier Island against Lisa Prado of Waiheke Island, both representing the Carlton Cornwall club.
So we could well be into a tussle over those last few ends, Brendan.
Yeah, it is really up for grabs here. It's been a good fight back by Smith and Prado on the last 3 ends. It looked like Dale Raynor and Selena Smith had seized control. First at 15-8 after being 13-7 up.
So Selena Smith, did we get another bowl close for Dale Raynor? I see Mark Cameron sitting up there with Philip Scogden, New Zealand selector. I hope Mark's not trying to encourage his ability to pick me, Philip. Great attempt there from Selena Smith. Just got a feather off that front bowl. And a change over, and it'll be the Smith-Prado combination to a holding one shot.
Mark Cameron, CEO of Bowls New Zealand, who played in the pairs, unable to make it out of section play. Well, there's a kind way of describing how he went, but no doubt loved the experience, and having spoken to him briefly, certainly did. He's done a bit of marking at this tournament. We saw that at Sunnybray yesterday, the penultimate day of these Summerset Nationals. Also seen him helping mop the greens and squeegee the water off early. Well, the rain really hit this tournament on the opening 2 days.
Of course, his next big encounter is he's actually got 8 games to try and qualify for post-section play in the Taranaki Open Fours. Where
he's going back, is he? He was there last year?
Yes, he was. He's going back with, I think, a player from Riverhead, the Bowls New Zealand president, and Gary Banks, given to get 6 out of 8 to qualify for post-section play.
Oh, that's difficult.
So here is now Dale Raynor, 1 down on the head, leading 15-12 as we play Ian 14 of 18.
And we look forward to actually bringing you the finals day of the Taranaki Fours on Sky Sport next.
So Dale Raynor on the search for that bowl of, just goes through the port, trying to get to either the bowls of Selena Smith's and roll them into the head, or to dislodge that shot bowl of Lisa Prado's.
It was not far away either.
So here now is Val Smith on her forehand. This looks more like cover than... You may have looked at the weight that Dale Raynor played that first bowl with and thought, well, I'll try and get down the back to give some protection. One would think that the bowl of Lisa Prado would actually move with it, but this looks under the line. A lot of weight though. Depends how it gets. If it gets a slide on the bowl, and it does.
And that's exactly why Val Smith wanted something out there. Has that killed it? You think it would have? Yes, it has. So we will replay this end. Val Smith just talking to Lisa Prado and Selena Smith. We're just going to go back that end. No, we're going to play from this end. Just pick up the last Dale Raynor on it. Dale Raynor said, oh, maybe got different ideas. No, let's play the same way. Yeah, so we're going to pick up all the bowls and we're going to replay the 14th end. So it was killed by Val Smith.
Oh, and right, you're saying to Dale Raynor, well, if you want to play that way, you can carry some back as well. So the men's singles final at the Summerset National Championships between Michael Galloway of the One Tree Hill, the Royal Oak Club, formerly Onehunga, of course, and Rory Soden of Carlton, Cornwall, and that will be underway in about a few moments. And as Brenton said, at the completion of this women's pairs final, we'll be moving across to take in the balance of the men's singles final.
Yeah, so still plenty of action to come here on Sky Sport next. So once we have found our champion here. We will end our coverage and quickly move the cameras over to the other rink to start our coverage of the men's singles final. We will keep you up to date, though, with the early stages of that title decider. The last match of these Summerset National singles and pairs for 2021.
The jack hasn't been delivered to the required length, so back it goes. Lisa Prado was delivered the jack short.
So you expect Selena Smith to go longer then?
Yeah, that you would think that they'd get down as they can towards the 2 metre mark, but they haven't. It's a 3/4 length head.
Seemed to be where Dale Raynor was standing, though, so maybe that's exactly where she wanted Selena Smith to deliver it. As they try and get things going again, given that Val Smith and Lisa Prado have scored on the last 3 ends to eat away at that 15-8 deficit. Now 15-12.
So the first bowl of Lisa Prado slips by on that backhand side by about a metre. And a good opening bowl here. Another Selena Smith bowl. It's going to be around a metre short. So Val Smith urging Lisa Prado on to draw down on that backhand. We're back to saying we're back in this game after having those 4 ends, 3, 2, 4 and a 2. And here's this second bowl of Lisa Prado's. Val Smith looking at this bowl as it's breaking in towards the head now. And that's the shot itself. Going to sit literally right on the jack and fall over. Literally a front toucher.
Great second bowl by Lisa Prado. Made the adjustment from her first. Brought the weight back considerably and was right on the money. Selena Smith's going to maybe run into that first Lisa Prado bowl. Does. Val Smith encouraging Lisa Prado. More of the same. Thank you. One right and behind the jack would be perfect. Don't know if she liked that out of the hand, Lisa Prado. I think it's going to be pretty handy.
A good home. It's going to sit in behind, and it's only a metre over the head, and that's in a good spot if the jack's to move. Holding the 1 as we have the replay of end 14, and Val Smith and Lisa Prado holding the shot right on top of the jack.
As you see the sun pouring in to Carlton Cornwall now. You didn't know that this green was pretty much flooded.
Great
at
attempt.
Around, what, 11 o'clock this morning?
Certainly was.
It was water and weather for ducks, and rubber ducks in particular.
Oh, yes. They're sitting here now, Brendan. They're sunbathing now out in front of us.
They're drying off.
They're drying off and they're enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, been keeping out of the sun, though, in the nice, well-ventilated office here at Carlton Cornwall, which looks out on the C green. We're broadcasting from the B green, where the finals are taking place. This, the women's pairs final, the penultimate final of these Summerset National singles and pairs for 2021.
First bowl of Val Smith on this replay of the 14th end, just going by about a metre. Dale Raynor now play her first. Needs to be careful if she makes contact with it, because the jack could go back with a couple of Prado and Smith bowls sitting. Just depends what weight that she plays on the backhand. Will be Dale Raynor. And on that backhand line, trying to get down to the Selena Smith bowl, which is second shot, just going to go by it. But another good bowl on the head for the Smith-Raynor combination.
Yeah, give them something to work with now if they can try and remove that Lisa Prado shot bowl, or get the jack to move back to those two bowls. Of course, Val Smith will have something to say about that. She looks under the line here.
Under the line it is. And more than likely had good weight, good drawing weight, but just missed that line by a fraction. So Dale Raynor and Selena Smith having a bit of a chat, talking about who's got the back bowls. Well, I suppose one could say they're the same back bowls as what there was when you changed over, actually.
Yeah.
Of course, the danger for Dale Raynor, if she does elect to play that shot and the jack goes back, there's two Lisa Prado bowls sitting right there, and that would be with the weight that you'd play to get the jack to move. That's where the jack would most likely head towards.
Yeah, those two black bowls just to the left of the centre line, just in front of that one Selena Smith white bowl.
So here is Dale Raynor. It's on the wider side, not really playing what we, that attacking weight to move to the bowl. So can Val Smith draw another shot? Draws inside that of the Selena Smith bowl, would give her two. Definitely holding one at present. And at this point, there's nothing in this game as we come to the last few ends of this women's pairs final.
Of course, this is a replayed 14th end after Val Smith killed it. So we had another go. Dale Raynor, I suppose that could be a possibility for her if she gets strong enough contact. That jack could come out the side.
So Val Smith's last bowl on this, the replayed 14th end, and that's narrow. That's right under the line. And I think we're looking at the body language of Selena Smith. Yeah, we're going to see the change of hand, I think, on the other hand, trying to get down to the bowl to either dislodge the bowl or move the jack back fractionally to where there's Selena Smith bowl and a Dale Raynor bowl. So now down on the forehand side with reaching weight. Hard shot because it's a narrow line down there.
She's laughing. I don't know if she's
close. I'm going to run into the Val Smith bowl. Had the good line.
A very narrow corridor for her to get in there with a short bowl, and that short bowl of Val Smith proved to be nuisance value. So one more to Val Smith and Lisa Prado. 15-13 it is. Dale Raynor and Selena Smith still leading. But that advantage now cut just to 2 shots. And we have just the 4 ends remaining now.
And the men's singles final. Players just made their way out onto the green. Michael Galloway and Rory Soden. Jack's been delivered by Lisa Prado. Shortened it up.
And Rory Soden, who if you've just joined us, beat Finbar McGuigan 21-19. Rory Soden, like Lisa Prado of the host club here, Carlton Cornwall, new member here, and celebrating with a place in the final. Mike Galloway, who beat Andrew Kelly, the defending champion, 21-13. I think it finished. Royal Oak player, so all Auckland final in the men's singles here to close these Summerset national singles and pairs at Carlton Cornwall.
So Lisa Prado bowl was jack level, about half a metre. So Selena Smith will be endeavouring to draw it just inside that bowl, and she's done just that. Gets applause from both Val Smith and Lisa Prado. Lisa Prado now will follow that Selena Smith bowl, endeavouring to just beat her own bowl and draw in between there and the Selena Smith bowl. Val Smith was taking interest in that, but I think it's short, is it? Or no, it's coming back pretty quick. And was under the head. (15-13) to Selena Smith and Dale Raynor as we play the 15th of 18.
As the barbecue smells continue to pour in to our
are.
commentary position.
Be 2 to the Raynor combination.
I don't know what that's like for our vegetarian Tamara here in the broadcast studio with those barbecue smells pouring in.
Yeah, the fragrance is pretty good actually, isn't it? Surely they've got some for us afterwards.
They'll make their way through, surely.
Some Scotch
They
fillet.
Always look after us in the kitchen.
Yeah, some Scotch fillet.
Scotch fillet for you, Kevin.
I think that'll come our way. So here is the third bowl of Lisa Prado's. It's just breaking in towards the head now and needs to get the jack. Got a touch on the jack, in fact, but was going pretty quick on the way through. And goes by. So Val Smith will change over at least 2 down on this 15th end. And these are the ends where you want to be holding the shot really when you change over. Clapping from Dale Raynor as he watches bowler Selena Smith. So big pressure early on this head for Val Smith, Brenton.
Yeah, it certainly is. And like you say, not the position you want to be as the skip when you're changing over. Well down on the head. Nothing much really to work with. But Val Smith has come up with a number of big bowls in recent times.
Certainly has played some big bowls.
Why they have come back from 15-8 down to now be just 2 behind Val Smith and Lisa Prado, who, of course, won the last time we were here at Carlton Cornwall in this discipline, the women's peers, just 2 years ago.
So on the forehand is Val Smith. And Brenton spoke about those big bowls, and I think she may well have done it again, Brenton.
Yeah, it certainly has. The finger went up from Lisa Prado. Well executed, and we've come to expect it now in recent times from the 5-time national champion. 3 times in the peers, I believe, and a couple of times with Joe Edwards, and of course 2 years ago with Lisa Prado. Selena Smith, the defending champion in the peers, looking for her 5th national title. All these women have won national titles previously.
So here is the bolt of Dale Raynor's with Val Smith on our reckoning, holding the shot, trailing 15-13. Dale Raynor bowled just going past the head. It was a pretty good effort by Raynor. And it will be Val Smith's thoughts. Got to get another bowl on the head. Otherwise, there's a good chance that Dale Raynor may attack that. So here is Val Smith on this, the 15th of 18, playing her second bowl. Holding the shot. Certainly got the bowl out on a good line.
Yeah, didn't quite have the weight this time.
Certainly hit the line, and I think we might see that attack come now from Dale Raynor, especially that short bowl of Val Smith. Great opportunity to play down under the head to try and get to that bowl. That's exactly what Dale Raynor's endeavouring to do. It's on its way, trying to get to that shot bowl of.
Is he just
close?
Going to go through the gap? No, she gets a piece of the jack after sliding off the shot bowl. Has changed the head well and truly. And is that now the shot?
I'd say the bowl of Dale Raynor's would be shot. It is a very difficult shot here for Val Smith on the draw. It may look easy on the screen, but it has to come round that front bowl of Lisa Prado's.
You can see the jack, can't you, right in front pretty much of Lisa Prado's feet from the previous shot. There you see it obviously nice and clearly, and there's that black bowl that Val Smith will endeavour to come around.
So that shot, of course, as we said, was certainly on for Dale Raynor to play.
And Dale Raynor, of course, will play last in this end as she just picks up her line bowl. As Val Smith delivers, looking to draw around that Lisa Prado bowl. Prado's interested.
How far is it going to come back to the centre line? It's my big concern. How far is that going to come back?
Is it
with
in
the
play?
Outside line? They'll be looking at that play. It's a shot.
Yeah, I think Lisa Prado is indicating it is in play. Yeah, Selena Smith didn't seem to have an issue, so it's within the peg.
Now, Brenton, we can see the yellow peg.
Yeah, it does look well in, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? That's a magnificent bowl from Val Smith. So are they going to hold on to this one now as we watch Dale Raynor with the jack has been moved out to this, right out to the side, and
no, that's not going to change the situation. So again, Val Smith comes to the party, and we now have just a one-shot game. Dale Raynor and Selena Smith now clinging to a 15-14 lead over Val Smith and Lisa Prado. And we have just 3 ends remaining in this women's pairs final, the penultimate final of the Summerset Nationals here at Carlton, Cornwall and Auckland.
5 ends in a row they've now scored, Lisa Prado and Val Smith. Now on the 14th end, yes, it was the shot bowl of Lisa Prado's, which right from the outset of the head. Other than that, from 15-8 down, this has been the Val Smith show.
Yeah, it certainly has. Maybe we're slightly critical of the way she had been playing, but she has stepped up and shown her absolute champion quality. She, of course, world champion previously in this event. She has been one of New Zealand's best ever. More than 600 times she's represented New Zealand. Will no doubt catch her great mate, Joe Edwards, and surpass her as New Zealand's most capped player. Go beyond 650. There is no slowing Val Smith down.
Of course, now back home, back in New Zealand, after being at the Merredins Club for a few years in New South Wales, now back and playing out of the Nelson Club with her great mate Joe Edwards. So there's just been a great comeback by the Val Smith-Lisa Prado combination, that's for sure. We see Selena Smith's first bowl, which is going to just be short of the centre line, or short of the head, sorry. Lisa Prado will be on her backhand. 15-14 as we play the 16th. Only 2 more to go after that. And this is anybody's match. And the men's singles is underway. And of course, as Brenton said, at the completion of this pairs final, we'll be bringing you up to date. We'll be taking you live to the men's singles semi-final as this bowler Lisa Prado's breaks in towards the head. Here's a good bowl, Brendan, sitting right in behind the jack on the centre line.
Yeah, very good from Lisa Prado. Ideal spot for Val Smith as far as she's concerned. So from 7 shots down, now just 1 behind Val Smith and Lisa Prado. And making a good start to this, the 16th end. In that men's singles final, which is underway, it's Mike Galloway of Royal Oak out to an early 3-0 lead over Rory Soden of the host club here, Carlton, Cornwall.
Mike Galloway played in the Wimbledon Whites.
Yep, very traditional, isn't it? He's got the Royal Oak cap on. But the Whites.
Don't see that very often now, do we?
No. Very traditional, though. Yeah, bit of a flashback.
Comes from a greenkeeping family. His father, Stan, brother Ross, and Michael himself. And we're all very much of the Manawatu scene. And this bowl, Selena Smith, that's under the line. This is getting to the real crucial part of this game now, Brenton. They change over, and it's the Smith Prado side, definitely holding one, maybe two. One only by the look on that monitor.
Yeah, certainly looks like one from that angle.
What the marker just signalled two?
Yeah, like I was about to say, this angle is from the side on when you got the camera way away. It's always quite misleading. So yeah, that angle looks like two, which is slightly more accurate. Of course, our cameras are at the end of the ring. Can't get over the head like we can. For instance, in bowls 3-5, we can get really accurate view then of who's holding shot. So we do rely on the marker. The marker there indicating two to Smith and Prado.
Here's the first bowl of Val Smith. Needs to be inside the line of the Selena Smith bowl, but still in a good position. Comes in over the head, about a metre over the head. Dale Raynor, pressure on now to draw the shot. As the man said, two down.
There's the reigning men's singles champion Andrew Kelly, and just making his way out of the venue after bowing out in the semi-finals. Put up a great defence of his title, going down to Mike Galloway in the final four.
Bowler Dale Raynor is breaking to the head now. Looks like it's going to stay on the wide side, and it does. And no change to the head. Lisa Prado encouraging on her skip Val Smith on this, the Ian 16 of 18.
So the way this is at the moment, looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
And Lisa Brado's looking at this bowl, but I think that's under the line, and under the line with weight as well.
Yeah, it looked on a good track, didn't it?
Just out of the hand, it looked pretty good.
Just didn't have the weight. Dale Raynor. Follow that down on the backhand side. Hope for better weight though. She looks to draw the shot. That looks handy.
It's on a good line. This bowler
going to hold up. Oh, look at that.
That's the shot from the Wellingtonian, from the Johnsonville player.
I think a bit of a sigh of relief on the mat as well, because Val Smith has got the better of her in recent ends.
Well, Val Smith now, touch on the jack. Can certainly sit the bowl. You can make two of it. Make sure the biggest thing is make sure you hold that line to get down to the jack or the bowl. 15-14.
So Dale Raynor changing the situation. Now she holds shot. Val Smith now asked to respond, and she has time and time again in recent ends. Is she able to do it once more? Crouching down as Prado. Needs to get around that short bowl, and does, but still just a bit narrow. Wasn't able to grab the jack. It's a fine effort again from Val Smith. Just needed to be a touch wider. Really just a bowl wider.
That's all it needed, Brenton. You're right. So here is now Dale Raynor. Can she add to the head? Holding the shot. Leading 15-14 before we count this in. Needs to be careful here that she's under the head. And
she's going to get a touch off that. I thought she might have got a touch off the short bowl. It's not going to change the situation, but a great second bowl from Dale Raynor. Grabs the shot, and they stop a run of 5 straight from Smith and Prado, and they pick up one of their own. So it's now 16-14. Dale Raynor and Selena Smith leading Val Smith and Lisa Prado, and we have just 2 ends remaining now in this women's pairs final. Still very much anyone's title to take. Val Smith, Lisa Prado trying to win for the second time in 3 years, having won here at Carlton, Cornwall 2 years ago. Well, Selena Smith is endeavouring to go back-to-back, and Dale Raynor attempting to win her second title in 5 years.
So here is now Selena Smith playing a pretty short end on the forehand with the black top. And that great spirit this game's been played in. Here's the first bowler, Selena Smith, that's breaking towards the jack's going to be low of the jack. And Val Smith saying to her lead, Lisa Prado, follow the Smith bowl. And of course last year playing with Caitlin Inch, and as you and I have already spoken about, Brendan, Caitlin Inch was in commanding form, wasn't she, at the Summerset Nationals last year in Christchurch, when she won both the pairs and the singles, but she was certainly very commanding form and has continued that form in Australia. As we watch this bowler, Lisa Prado's just going to go slightly wide. It's over the head. Selena Smith now will endeavour to improve on her first, which is the shot, jack low.
(3-1). Mike Galloway now leading Rory Soden. Early stages of the men's singles final. If you have just joined our coverage here recently, just letting you know that once we have crowned the champion, once we've spoken to the champion pair, we will finish our coverage of the women's pairs final and move our cameras, get set up, and then get underway in the men's singles final. Our coverage of it as soon as we can, and we'll hope to bring you much of that match, certainly the closing stages, there's no doubt of that. Here's Mike Galloway leading Rory Soden in the All Auckland final, 3-1.
So Lisa Prado ran into the Selena Smith bowl. You can see inside one of her bowls and the Smith bowl in behind the head. Looks like the shot. Here is Selena Smith playing her third bowl on this, the 17th and penultimate end, trying to get down under the bowl of Lisa Prado's. Is it going to hold up or just disappear under the line? Just disappeared under the line. I just wonder, Brendan, with that weight that was played, do they think that it's the Prado bowl which is shot?
Yeah, it well could be, because it seems pretty much jack level, and obviously it's well up the green, isn't it? So bowls that look relatively close when they're straight on that line are actually often quite further away than they appear.
So here is Lisa Prado playing her last bowl on this end, 17. That's going to go by a metre, and it is 1 to Lisa Prado and Val Smith. It is 1, just signalled there, you'll see, by the lollipop man, the marker.
So as they change over, advantage Smith and Prado. Yeah, much shorter end than we've seen. This is actually the length that Lisa Prado attempted to play a couple of times, but didn't quite roll the jack far enough down the green. And now it was Selena Smith who dictated the length this time.
So here is Dale Raynor. Selena Smith taking an interest in this bowl as it breaks towards the head, just sits on the Lisa Prado bowl. Got a roll onto it, one roll onto the bowl, and I'm sure we'll see Smith most likely go to the backhand.
It was a great effort by Raynor. Now Smith has been in supreme touch of late in this match.
On that backhand, trying to draw back to that Selena Smith bowl. Coming down towards the head now. Lisa Prado's looking at this bowl, but in fact it's going to pull up short of the target. That was certainly on a good line. Dale Raynor again now will endeavour to draw to the Lisa Prado bowl. Be interesting to see what happens after this, though, because she might attack this right away, because the next 3 shots are held by Dale Raynor.
I mentioned Andrew Kelly departing. He's actually just went to get changed, so he's returned. Good to see him here to watch the rest of the women's pairs
And
final.
here looking for the bowl was Dale Raynor.
Was not far away from taking that jack back into the ditch with her. Just missed somehow. Certainly looked in line, didn't it? Throughout as it made its way down, but just missing. Andrew Kelly back to watch the closing stages of this women's pairs final and the men's singles decider, which is underway a couple of rinks away here at Carlton, Cornwall.
So here is Val Smith with her second bowl on the 17th end, and I'm sure we're going to see Dale Raynor again attack that bowl. Doesn't want the jack though, because this is her last bowl on the 17th end. On the mat is Raynor trying to play to that shot bowl with weight, with reaching weight, following it.
And it's going to come under the
line. It is.
It's not going to change the situation. So now Val Smith has an opportunity to try and draw for second here to make it potentially two all tied up going into the 18th and final end, just as it was in Dale Raynor and Selena Smith's semi-final, where they were all tied up playing the last and managed to beat Claire Hendra and Taylor Bruce, last year's runners-up, 12-11. A very tight contest throughout. This has been unfolding in a different pattern, but we might get to the same result, all tied up. If Val Smith, has it got enough weight? Has it got enough weight?
No,
I don't think so. That's not going to change. So it is 1 to Val Smith and Lisa Prado, and it's now a one-shot game. So it's advantage Dale Raynor and Selena Smith. 16-15 they now lead as we get ready to play the 18th and final end of this women's pairs final here at the Summerset Nationals at Carlton, Cornwall and Auckland. Well, this has been a great comeback from the 2019 champions, Smith and Prado.
Brendan, I'm sure that if Val Smith and Lisa Prado are to lose this final, the 8th end to me, that 4 shots whereby they really didn't manage their head, from my viewpoint, as well as they could have. And that's, of course, when they were in the middle of that scoring spree was Dale Raynor and Selena Smith. So here now is Lisa Prado on the mat. That's all history now as we play this last end.
Yeah, because Val Smith and Lisa Prado, if you've joined us late, they led 7-4 after they picked up a 5 of their own. But then it was all Dale Raynor and Selena Smith as they scored a 3, a 2, and then that 4 on the 8th end, which Kevin spoke about.
It's a pretty good opening bowl from Lisa Prado. You'll see it sitting in there just off the centre line. Perfect line, just behind the head by half a metre. Selena Smith now on her forehand, leading by that one shot, 16-15 as we play the 18th end. There's a previous New Zealand player, haven't seen for a long time, just arrived here to watch his mate Rory Soden. Kerry Chapman just made his way in, and Mike Galloway, because he played in the New Zealand side, did Kerry Chapman with Mike Galloway. So here now is Lisa Prado on her backhand, playing her second bowl of this, the 18th end. And well, it may not be the final end.
No, it may not be. If Val Smith and Lisa Prado score a single and we're all tied up, we will play an extra end. And the way it's going, Val Smith and Lisa Prado have won 6 of the last 7 ends.
They certainly have.
So, and on 5 of those, they have scored a 1. So, great chance we are going to an extra end.
Yeah, Selena Smith down on the head. And this bowl's now breaking in towards the head. Is it going to go past the bowls? It does. So the Smith-Prado combination, Brenton, at this stage would be holding those 2 shots.
Yep, certainly. Lisa Prado, if she can add a third here, really will put the pressure on Selena Smith.
Oh, she gave that the real hand pump when she let that one go. I think but it nerves, not nerves, but just adrenaline. And this bowl, as long as it finishes jack level, that's a pretty good bowl from Lisa Prado.
Whatever was flowing through her, it worked.
And the thing is, it's not a drivable head; it's a drawing head. That's the way how this has been set up. And of course, Selena Smith with her last bowl has to. She's more than capable, as we know, of drawing the shot here. Is the Takapuna player, defending champion in the pairs, playing her last bowl on this, the 18th end, and this is going to be under the head and short.
So, unable to respond to the challenge laid down that time by Lisa Prado. 3 very handy bowls for the lead of Val Smith's combination.
So what do you do here, Brendan? Do you leave the head alone and say to Dale Raynor, you've got to draw the shot?
Almost, I think I would.
Well,
you don't want to give her another bowl in the area,
correct,
do you, to land on?
And the other reason why I say that, Brendan, is because the counting bowls of the Smith-Prado side are over the head, so there's no shoulders to work off to run into the head. So to me, staying away from the head and putting the pressure on Dale Raynor to really have to draw, and that to me looks what Val Smith is going to the back and really saying to Selena Smith, getting the back to Dale Raynor, it's up to you.
If you can beat one of those from Lisa Prado or multiple, and well done.
There were 3 great bowls from Prado, but look at this bowl here.
It's going to be short, I think, unless it comes
short,
through.
To get a rub or something. Now, the advantage, of course, which that now does for the Selena Smith combination, it does open the other hand up for them to play. And the last thing that Val Smith will want to do is give them any opportunity for a shoulder on that hand as well. So again, I'm sure we'll see Smith elect to stay on that backhand side, going nowhere near when that's required. So it's on its way at second bolt of Val Smith's. And there Dale Raynor, I'm sure, will change her hand, endeavouring to try and draw the shot. No, she's staying on that backhand. So we'll just keep an eye on this bowl of Dale Raynor's.
Can she use that Val Smith bowl as a bit of a guide?
Possibly, Brenton. You can't quite see what's going on there. Val Smith standing there. We'll see by the body language.
And it will come in shortly. There it goes. So it runs into that Val Smith bowl we just talked about.
On the other side of it.
Yeah, the wrong side of it. Obviously wanted to maybe use it as a guide on the inside, and it might have trailed nicely towards the jack. Wasn't to be. Early stages in the men's singles final. Mike Galloway now leading 8-1 in his quest for his second national title, 20 years after his first.
And as we said, Brendan, about this head, as the skips changed over, the challenging thing for Dale Raynor in this, it's a drawing head. There's nothing to attack with it, nothing at all. So you have to draw either the shot, second shot, or so. Notice the bowl of Val Smith looks to be out on the wider side is where you want to be. And you're right, Brenton. The danger is you're quite correct in what you said. And now, no, you're just playing that backhand again, is using the slide off that Val Smith bowl. Who at this stage? Val Smith.
As the wind just really just came through.
It came from nowhere.
Cornwall has actually picked up a bit of the artificial turf, was just beside green, as you see, just the left of the screen, just past the next to the head there of Lisa Prado on the side of the rink. There's a real gust just going through. So that forced Dale Raynor to just take a moment.
And here now is Dale Raynor on the mat, with Prado and Smith holding the win for their national final.
It's all on this. Is it going to come inside that bowl, or is it going to come around it to cut it to one, or is it even going to take the shot? What an effort that is from Dale Raynor. Has it grabbed the shot, or is it the second? I think it is. It is Val Smith and Lisa Prado who win again. 2 years on from their first national title together in the women's pairs. They take down Dale Raynor and Selena Smith in quite a dramatic final, a final that they trailed 15-8 in after 10 ends. They come back to take down Dale Raynor and Selena Smith. I'll make my way now out onto the green to have a chat with the new women's pairs champions.
What an amazing final that was, Brenton. As you rightly say, we saw the side of Dale Raynor and Selena Smith jump out to that 15-8 lead when they scored a 3, a 2, a 4, then they dropped a 1, then a 2, and then we had the Val Smith combination go on this scoring spree. And from end 11 through to end 18, they only in fact dropped one shot, and that in fact was on the 16th end. They scored a 1, a 2, a 1, a 1. They missed on the 16th, and then a 1 and a 2 to run out the winners by 17-16. And at the end of the day, Dale Raynor was only one roll away of the bowl to actually get shot to win this final. What an amazing comeback by Lisa Prado and Val Smith, giving Lisa Prado now her second national pairs title, giving Val Smith her 6th New Zealand title. And of course, last year, Val Smith and Lisa Prado got beaten, of course, in the semi-finals by Caitlin Inch and Selena Smith. But what a comeback by these two players who really got on well together. And I must admit, all 4 players got on really well. There was a great spirit within that final. And I thought at that 8th end when they dropped the 4 that it was all over really for the Smith-Prado combination, but not to be. And I'm just waiting now for Brendan Van Nistelrooy to get hold of Val Smith. I can see Brenton out there now on the green, and he'll have with him in a moment Val Smith and Lisa Prado. But that was a remarkable recovery. They were through Ian's number from Ian's number 6 to 10. They were really struggling. Their back was really against the wall. It could have been all over, in fact, but Val Smith played some absolutely outstanding draw shots, went down on the head, none more on the 12th end, when about 3 down, and played a press shot onto the jack and made 2 shots of it. Here? And I'm just waiting now. I can see Val Smith and Lisa Prado just making their way towards Brendan Van Nistelrooy, and he will talk to the victors who have now won the Summerset National Pairs, Val Smith and Lisa Prado. Val Smith, of course, now of the Nelson Club. Lisa Prado from the Carlton Cornwall Club. And I'm just
well done.
I'll just pass you over to Brendan Van Nistelrooy, who's got Lisa Prado and Val Smith with him.
Lisa. You could try and hide away over there as well. I won't let you. All right, we now have the successful women's champions, 2 times champions together now, just 2 years after doing it right here at Carlton Cornwall. Val, yeah, you must have had a few heart flutters early on, but you delivered when it mattered most.
Yeah, well, I think Lisa was the star of the show for us today. It was, the consistency of the draw. I had really no idea on the draw. I just was fortunate enough to chip in at some critical moments. But probably over the length of the game, I thought Lisa was the one that kept us in it.
I saw you shaking your head there, Lisa. Val being a bit humble, she came up with some pretty big bowls herself, didn't she?
Yes, exactly. It's teamwork, so that's all it is, teamwork. We both played well.
We saw how much it means to you, though, to win this national title again. What is it about you two which has so much success here, Val?
I suppose we kind of have a fairly laid-back approach when we're together. I think we enjoy each other's company, both on the green and off the green. And like Lisa's got a good way of being able to just make me laugh when when the moments get tense, and it works. It's kind of been a successful formula for us, and because we came through some really tough games in section play, but we managed to scrap it out, and I think it was just due to the fact that we were able to be just take a fairly laid back, don't care kind of approach. So if it goes against us, so be it. But so far it's actually worked for us. It's kept us relaxed out there.
Was that still the attitude, Lisa, when I think you were 15-8 down and they went on a bit of a run?
Still the attitude, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Relaxed and just have some fun and...
Yeah. I mean, I think as much as we wanted to win, I think we were pretty happy that we're in the final.
Yeah.
So winning it is a bonus, and kind of took that extra pressure off, even though you still want to play well. So I felt like I was struggling, and that sort of disappoints me more than the actual result of the game. It's more about your own performance. But that's where Lisa came in and sort of makes you feel like it's not a big deal. It's okay.
I think you came pretty good there, Val. Certainly came up with a number of big bowls, didn't she? Val Smith, a 6th national title for Val Smith, a 2nd for Lisa Prado, as that now wraps up our coverage of the women's pairs final. Join us shortly as we will have the men's singles final to come shortly, as we have the runners-up of the women's pairs to join us, Dale Raynor and Selena Smith. Well, that must be pretty tough to take. That went right down to the wire, pretty much the last bowl, Dale.
Oh yeah, it did. It did go right down to the wire. I felt fairly confident that I could get there with my, I thought quite like my second bowl, but that didn't happen. So I thought, oh well, last bowl I can do this. Because I hadn't been going, I don't think, that well during the game at all. Selena led well. Lisa, credit to her, she played some lovely shots right at the end of the game. She was nailing it. And Val played some good turnaround bowls earlier on as well.
Yeah, Selena, I suppose it was the tale of the day, wasn't it? Because your semi-final also went down right to that final end. On that occasion, as Dale, we played an absolute stunner to get you through the final.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Coming towards the end of the game, it's a similar feeling from the previous game, and I think we're all used to those nerves. But yeah, no, Lisa played a really, really good last end and played 2 lovely bowls, and that's what they needed.
Yeah, for you to finish runner-up a year after winning the pairs, must be pretty pleased with that. It's great consistency.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, pretty pleased. It's a hard track to win a national title, so coming second out of all of the great ladies that we have in New Zealand is still a really good honour.
And Dale, for you enjoyed the partnership you've struck up with Selena over the last few days?
Yeah, she's amazing to play with, a great lead. We had so much fun. So close.
Yeah.
Well, hard luck this afternoon, but congratulations on a great performance throughout this tournament. Dale Raynor and Selena Smith, our beaten finalist here in the women's pairs, as that will now complete our coverage, and we'll soon get ready for continued coverage of the men's singles final. It is Mike Galloway in that final with the early lead, but we will join that shortly here from Carlton, Cornwall.